Okay, I'm going to start anyway. So welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this second session. My name is Joanne Boulding, and I'm from Beta Technology in the UK, and I'm a partner in the STAGE project. We co-lead with one of the organisers of today's event. We do the comms dissemination exploitation work package, and we have the task of co-chairing this session. So we'll kind of stop talking, and I shall let my co-host introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Athos Andoniadis. As I said earlier, I'm the scientific manager of COMFORTAge, and we look forward to hearing from our speakers.
Okay, so who have we got first? It's on 2 pages, it's very confusing.
So our first speaker is Kenneth Moore. Kenneth?
Hi. Behind you.
There we go.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you very much. All right, good morning, everyone. Nice to be here. I'd like to thank the organisers of the meeting for inviting me to give a very short presentation. I'd like to thank the funders of the study, and it's a great privilege to be involved in the family of COMFORTAge. COMFORTAge is this big study, and it's an exciting initiative. The family has got even bigger today with 2 other consortia joining in, and we're all really trying to do the same thing: make people healthier and ultimately happier. But let's get personal, if you'll allow me. The reason why I study dementia, which is the focus of the COMFORTAge consortium, is my dad developed dementia in later life. In younger life, he was a fit man, he was a doctor, and he devoted his service to making people healthier. But in later life, he himself had dementia. What does that mean for me? Am I at higher risk? Will I develop dementia? What can I do now or in the future to stop me getting it? Those are the questions that motivate me to join with COMFORTAge and try and make a difference. The good news is we have the answer, and Athos has already presented it earlier today. So what are we doing here? There's still quite a lot to do. So we've heard the numbers. We all know dementia is a massive problem. It's an expense to healthcare, society. It's a difficult thing for families to accept, but we have an increasingly aging population, which in one sense is a success, but in another sense is raising a different set of challenges. Age is the biggest risk factor for dementia. If we get to our 70s and our 80s, our cognition naturally declines, as does everything else, and what is normal cognitive problems and what is just getting a little bit forgetful as you get older. So the definition of dementia in itself is quite challenging, but if we think of a continuum from normal to sort of subjective cognitive decline to maybe a little bit of mild cognitive decline, and then leading on to overt forms of dementia, you can think of this pathway. And what we know is that if we act early in the pathway, we know a number of factors that will reduce the risk of progression. The problem with that is that you need to act early in life at a time when people don't really think about dementia. So we need to act on risk factors, and we need to empower people and support them to do some quite challenging things. Dementia is also related to multimorbidity that we heard about earlier. Diabetes, cardiovascular disease, multiple conditions seem to be antecedents of that increasing burden of health as we get older, and all of these make some prediction of individuals that will develop brain health problems as they get older. So what we're finding in the work that we're doing within our pilot and increasingly across Europe is that people are becoming aware of dementia. It used to be something not talked about. The frail, forgetful individual was put in the back of the room and sort of ignored to a large extent. Now increasingly people are recognizing dementia as a problem, trying to do something about it, both as a society and as a healthcare provider. So this is good news. It's analogous to what happened in cancer. Cancer 25 years ago was not talked about. Now it can be treated, it can be prevented, and it's a very common form of discussion. People talk about the risk of cancer and trying to do something about it. Increasingly, though, we're also interested in health span. We've already heard today, living longer is a good thing, yes, but living longer with ill health is a bad thing. So how can we increase health span rather than lifespan? And the things are all interconnected. So it's easy for me to stand up, for the other speakers to stand up and say, well, just change your diet, just do more exercise, just do all the things that all of us know we should be doing. And trust me, it ain't easy. I've been on a diet for the last 6 weeks, and it's really difficult. So we can't just dismiss prevention as just do these things and you'll be healthier and happier. It's a very challenging thing to do. So where I see COMFORTAge fitting in is this dreaded thing. We came on the tube today to get to the meeting. Everyone's staring at this black box device, and can't we use that for good? These e-health technologies are omnipresent. Every single one of you in the room has got one of these devil's devices. So the challenge is, can we use these technologies actually for good rather than irritating people, sending them alerts, whatever? So that's the challenge. How can we actually use e-health technologies to actually enable people, empower people to do really important changes in their life at the right time? We know about the technology. It can prompt you, it can send you messages, it can link you with people. How do we best use those to empower people to reduce their risk of dementia? So the exciting bits of the COMFORTAge project to me are working with technical people, with AI modelers, and with the designers of apps, and really trying to use data, to use technologies to motivate change. An exciting part of the work that we're doing is this idea of digital twins. So I'm a molecular epidemiologist by trade, and we measure all the systems in the body. We measure the genome, the epigenome, the metabolome, the proteome, and with all of that data, we can actually personalize a picture of your biology. So instead of, as I think George said earlier, instead of having general advice, we can personalize down to a very fine detail what is your biology. More so, we can actually track very early on when your biology is changing. My biology is changing. Every one of your biology changes as you age. Some of those are natural, some of them are leading on to disease processes. So instead of designing a risk prediction system, risk of something that may happen in 20 or 30 years, what we're doing in our pilot is measuring biological systems and then monitoring them and asking people to change when they see that early change in their biology. Showing this through digital twins is empowering. People understand, they can see what will happen to them as they go forward. So that's what it's about to me, empowering citizens, using technologies, accepting we're all different, accepting we all have different social circumstances, different opportunities. We can't just go out and say, everyone run for 10 miles every night if you live in an unsafe environment. If you live in a flat, what you can do is different to if you live in a house. So let's personalize the advice, let's adapt it to be useful to each and every citizen. And using the new emerging technologies is challenging. We have a big ethics component of our project, and transparency and trust going forwards are very important in this area. So to cut to the chase, we know the answers, at least for about 40% of cases of dementia. And what we've been doing is a similar study with George and a different team, an EU-funded project called iHelp, and this shows that it does work. We did very similar things. We monitored multiple parameters of health, and what we found is that our participants at the end, 70% said they would become healthier. And if you look at the distribution, we had at least 50% changing their activities, doing more exercise, and for me, the most important one is the purple color. A third of our participants, as a result of joining the study and monitoring their biology, using a Fitbit, using the apps, said they felt happier. This is absolutely key to long-term interventions. Why are people going to do things if they're not going to get a happiness benefit? So at least 1 in 3 of our participants, after a year of participation in the study, were either doing healthier behaviours and feeling happier. So it's a call to arms. We know lots of things we can do. We need to know how to do them at scale. We need to personalise them. We need to really push on with the work. The focus of our work is on healthy people with sort of very early problems in dementia. I'll now hand across to Andrea, who's going to talk about a different subset. Thanks.
Should I? Okay. Hi, hello everyone. Thanks for being here today. I'm Andrea Miguel. I'm from ACE Alzheimer Center here in Barcelona. And thanks to the kind presentation that Ken did, I'm going to focus on our pilot and what we are doing at our center. So, okay, thank you. Okay, so our pilot is titled Integration of Multiple Sources Towards Personalized Prevention at our center. But I could understand that this is not a very descriptive title, so what I'm trying to do is depict a little bit what we're doing by answering some simple questions very fast, because we're out of time. So what are we going to do? So basically our primary objective is to assess the effectiveness of digital tools that are being created in the context, of COMFORTAge. We want to see what's their impact in cognitive decline, hopefully in slowing cognitive decline. And we're going to be assessing this over the duration of 2 years. And then we will have some secondary objectives, which I'm going to mention, sharing extensive biological and clinical data that we already have, so retrospective data, in order to create integrated data sets that are going to help us train and validate our project's AI models and the patient's digital twins and all of these algorithms that we're working on. How are we going to do this? So basically we're going to recruit 100 participants that we're going to divide into 2 groups. The active group and the control group. So for the active group, we have prepared a series of sessions that are going to be conducted weekly at our center, and we are going to make these patients interact with these opt-in tools, these digital tools, and we're going to try for them to engage enough so they bring these digital tools back to their house. And for the control group, they're going to follow our standard procedure, and we're going to compare what are the differences. And the main outcome that we're going to study is cognitive decline, as I mentioned. And then we're also going to try and see if there's a difference in their perceived quality of life, physical activity, satisfaction with the different interventions, and some others. And I wanted to mention that the three digital tools that we're going to use are going to be, 2 of them are based on serious games, so cognitive, sorry, I forgot that word. So it's serious games for them to try and, sorry, because of the time, I'm trying to be so fast. It's motivation, but it's not motivation, but you understand what I'm trying to say. And the other one, sorry, the other one is Healthentia. It's an app that is based on daily activity monitoration. So they are going to input some information about heart rate, sleep quality, and stuff. And who is going to be eligible for these pilots? So we're going to look for patients that have been diagnosed with mild Alzheimer's disease or mild cognitive impairment, and that are in this range of age. The exclusion criteria is based on some clinical aspects, but also in the fact that they have to have access to digital devices, because, again, we want them to bring these interaction with the opt-in tools back to their house, and then they are going to go through our basal test schedule that we do standardized at ACE. Where and when? So basically, these sessions are going to happen face-to-face at our center. They're going to come to the daycare center. And a professional neuropsychologist is going to lead these sessions. And she's going to design them, and she's going to provide personalized attention to each of our patients so they become more at ease with the digital tools, and hopefully recruitment will start this month or next month. And finally, why are we doing this? So basically what we want to achieve with all our project and our pilot in particular is that once we achieve all the objectives of COMFORTAge, we want to be able to early detect these individuals that are going to be or that are at the higher risk of cognitive decline. And we also want to be able to stratify patients, not having to use the traditional markers that we are already using, and to see if we can create a more personalized medicine framework for these patients. And finally, we also want to be able, thinking in the context of a memory unit, which is what our organization is, partially, we want to be able to monitor the possible progression of our patients from early cognitive impairment to dementia, if that's possible with AI-assisted systems. And that's everything. Sorry for the fastness. If anyone has any questions, please reach out. Sorry.
Okay, thank you very much to both Kenneth and Andrea for their presentations. I say we've got quite a lot to cover, so it's a bit of a pace. Apologies for that, but there's a short time at the end to have some questions.